Guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa. If you are new here, welcome. This is a place where we talk about all things plants. Today I'm going to be talking about this. This is an article that I found in the Winnipeg, Free Press, and it was dated April 23rd. I was going to make a video about this a while back, but I forgot about it and then I found this piece of paper. So the article is 15 low maintenance plants that anyone can grow. Right away when I read that headline, I was like, oh no. I'm like, I have a feeling that some of the 15 on this list are not going to be low maintenance plants that anyone can grow, because everyone has different climates in their home and what have you, and I know personally that some of these are not a low maintenance plant that anyone can grow. I just want to let you know these are all my opinions. A lot of the information in here is actually really good, but some of it is kind of eh. So I'm gonna go through each one and they made a little like write-up of each one, and I'm going to kind of like talk about it. And again, my opinion. So number one, they have cacti. What they wrote was, if you are a plant novice, pick up a cactus. These plants thrive in natural light and only have to be watered once a week during the spring and summer, and every 3 weeks during the fall and winter. All right, so what I have to say about that is, if you're a plant, okay, so right away, no, I do not think that this is a low maintenance plant. Right away they say, if you're a plant novice, which means that you're new at plants. I don't think that you should get a cactus or a succulent, and I'm gonna mention that many times in this article, in this video, because I think that people go to them quickly because they're so readily available and they're easy to find and you can literally find them anywhere. But they're kind of dramatic, they're hard to care for, they need a lot of like light, and a lot of people can't replicate that for cactuses. They're just, I think that they are a high maintenance plant in my opinion, but again, my opinion. Number two is air plants. So what they wrote was, these spidery guys don't even need soil to survive. All you have to do to water them is dunk them in water for 2 to 3 hours every 10 days. A perfect activity while you labor away crunching numbers. All right, so number two, again, I do not think that air plants are a low maintenance plant because they don't have soil. I find that the second that you don't use soil, it becomes a little bit more trickier because people don't know what to do. Air plants, I'm sure you've seen, I'll throw pictures up on the screen of these plants, and they pretty much just like, you can buy air plant hangers, you can put them on shelves, but personally, I think that they're a little bit trickier because you need to pretty much have them in like bright light. Not direct light, but bright light, and a lot of people can't replicate that. So and another thing here they say is 2 to 3 hours. So yes, you put your air plant in a bowl of water, but I think like the max would be like 40 minutes. Every 10 days is good, but I think 2 to 3 hours, it's a little bit too much. Again, my opinion, because I've killed them. And yeah, I just think that that's a little bit too much time. Number three is pothos. Everyone knows what a pothos is. Also known as devil's ivy, this sprawling plant is ridiculously easy to care for. It can tolerate the darkest cubicles and the brightest window-filled offices with ease, and will still survive when you forget to water it. Every once in a while, look for cues on what care it needs. Yellow leaves mean it's been overwatered, while a droopy plant is thirsty. I have a lot to say about this one. So yes, I am going to agree that it is a low maintenance plant, but it says here, it can tolerate the darkest cubicles. What the hell does that mean? No, okay, every plant needs light. And then it also says, yellowing leaves mean it's been overwatered. Okay, but so can it can do that if it's underwatered. When a droopy plant is thirsty, yes. When the leaves are droopy at a pothos or they're weak, it obviously needs some water. But yellowing leaves can mean overwatering, underwatering, it could be pests, it could be the roots, it could be anything. You can't, reading this, not knowing plants, is telling me that if my leaves turn yellow, I am overwatering it. Sure, but it could also mean an abundance of things. So you need to look for pests, you need to look at the roots, you need to kind of look at everything when your plant starts giving you problems. Do you like my glasses? Number 4 is jade plants. These plants only require medium light for a few hours every day, so they can sit just about anywhere in your office. Since the soil should dry out before you water them, we recommend taking a second to test the moisture with each finger every day. I also agree that jade plants are one of the more easier succulents to take care of, but I also said no as a low maintenance plant for the fact that it is a cactus or a succulent. It falls in the succulent family, and I just think that those are not easy novice plants for people. But when they say the soil should dry out before you water them, I 100% agree. They like to be dry and not moist. Number 6 is spider plants. What they said was, since these plants prefer to dry out between waterings, you can usually go a few days between sessions. They also like indirect light, so they'll flourish even if you have a dark, windowless cubicle or home office space in the basement. No. So I agree that a spider plant is easy. In my opinion, it's not. They're hard. I always kill them. But everyone seems to be doing right, so maybe it's just me, and that's okay. But what they say here is they'll flourish even if you have a dark windowless cubicle. Would you go crazy in a dark windowless room forever? Because I sure would. Plants are living things and they need light to survive. You can put a spider plant in an indirect light or a moderate light situation, but please, you guys, don't put any plants in a windowless room. I've seen people ask if you can put plants in a windowless room. No, don't do it. Just, even if someone tells you to do it, just don't do it. It sounds weird. Number 5 is ZZ plant. While the trendy ZZs thrive in moderate to brighter light environments, they'll still hold up there just fine in low light. They also require little water like a cactus, so you don't have to worry about watering them all the time. Plus, it's a hardy plant. If its leaves start falling off, just give it a good watering and it'll bounce right back. I agree with absolutely everything in there. Number 5 is a good thing in my books. A low maintenance plant that anyone can deal with. The ZZ plants, they have the thick leaves. I've known people who have they water their ZZ plants once every 6 months. You can literally leave this plant to chill. It is fine. And lower light situations, north. Please don't put your plants in the dark room. North facing is perfectly fine for these plants, or west facing is totally fine. ZZ plant is a great gift. It's a great plant for anyone. Number 7 is aloe vera. So we're following back into the cactus and succulents. Forget to water your aloe vera? No problem. It's actually worse to overwater these plants than to underwater them. Just give it a soak every week or 2. So again, I'm gonna say no to low maintenance because it falls under that category. But aloe veras are kind of dicks. If you overwater them, they'll be like So you do want to let them dry out. Also, they like crappy soil. That should be always mentioned. They like sand, mud, clay, soil, chunky rocks. Think of the desert. And they like the heat. So if you can't mimic heat, then that's another problem. Some plants need like a lot of heat, like dry heat or humidity sometimes. There's one here that needs humidity that is also difficult. Okay, so the next one is snake plants. Since these vertical plants can survive low light levels and drought, they're basically designed for the kind of office life where you can't find 10 minutes to eat your lunch, let alone water your plants. Whoever wrote this article clearly works in an office. So yes, I agree that snake plants are a low maintenance plant. They can thrive on low to medium light and not as often waterings. Again though, don't be putting your plants in windowless rooms. I feel like that is a very misleading thing that this article is trying to tell you to do. Number 9 is succulents. You know where I'm gonna go with this. These waxy plants actually store water in their thick leaves. Therefore, they typically only require weekly waterings and enjoy sunlight and dry air. Yep. But not all succulents have thick, waxy leaves. I have a few succulents that are like fuzzy, thin leaves. So maybe they're not a succulent, but categorizing all succulents into this thick waxy leaf is kind of misleading, in my opinion. So I'm gonna say no, just because of that. Number 10 is bamboo. I know nothing about bamboo. I've never had a bamboo. I think they're stupid. I don't know. And people call them the lucky plant. Oh look, this lucky plant needs very little light, meaning it's basically made for cube desks. Oh my god. Even better, it'll give your work much space, a much needed feng shui boost. I love that. But I'm not really gonna say anything about that because I don't know anything about bamboo. I know that you can get them at like IKEA in the basement. There's no windows there, so who knows. Number 11 is peace lily. Love the peace lily. So what they say is these beautiful flowering plants are surprisingly easy to grow. Just keep the soil moist, but avoid overwatering. And mist its leaves regularly and you'll have a happy plant. Oh, and while they prefer sunlight, make sure you keep them out of direct sun. Yes. So yes, I believe that the peace lily is a low maintenance plant for most people, but not for all people. They do like to be watered, so when they say avoid overwatering, don't be too scared of that phrase, because even if you do overwater it, I think the peace lily will be fine. I think the peace lily will be fine in like hydro, like all the time, but my opinion. So keep it moist. Misting its leaves, I think that's kind of like, let me know if you missed your leaves down in the comments below, because that's a very controversial, people think that it's like not really a thing to do, but I don't really do it. So I don't really think you need to take that extra step, especially if you don't have time in your busy office. Number 12 is a red Ugly Oneema. So what they say is this colorful stunner is a popular new plant with pink stems and reddish pink leaf tips. That's sure to add some personality to your desk. Plus, it's not hard to care for. It'll show the most color in brighter light, but it will thrive in low light too. So I agree that an Ugly Oneema is a low maintenance plant. They're obviously just talking about one variety. They are very stunning, many different varieties, colors, patterns, and I agree they do better in a low light, but they will thrive in like a moderate light. So if you have them like 10 feet away from a south window or up against an east window or even a west window or even in your north window, they will, if they can see the sky, I think that their patterns will become a little bit more vibrant. Number 13 is Rex Begonia. These Tim Burton-esque plants require brighter light to keep their bolder color, but they should be kept out of direct sunlight. Wait until the soil feels dry to water your begonia, but don't wait too long or it'll wilt. They prefer higher humidity, so misting is key. Again, when you mist your plants, they're only getting the mist for like that moment, for like 10 minutes. So misting your plants is kind of like eh. But so yes, I agree that, okay, wait. Rex Begonias are a no for a low maintenance plant. I think they're a high maintenance plant. I've owned many of them and I've killed many of them. But what I did realize is that they need high humidity, which is what this article says, which means if you live in a place like me, 6 months of the year, it's cold, you can't put your plants outside. You need to either destroy your house with humidity and humidifiers everywhere, or get yourself a greenhouse, which some people just don't have the room for or have the money for. But I put mine in the greenhouse and they thrive. So they thrive with that humidity, and I honestly think that they just need really high humidity. So I don't think that they are a low maintenance plant at all, but they are gorgeous. And again, they do say, they talk about the sun. Keep out of direct sunlight. Yeah, for sure. They like a lower situation. Same with like calatheas and stuff. Calatheas are also like an asshole. We're not gonna talk about that. So there's two more. Number 14 is ficus. So what they say is whether your office is bathed in light or only offers filtered sunshine, these plants will survive. And since they actually prefer several days of dry soil, they basically thrive when you neglect them. Perfect. So I'm going to say no to ficus being a low maintenance plant. They enjoy heat, so they enjoy that dry heat. So if you live in a place that gets really warm in the summer, throw them outside, but not in direct sun. I have mine sitting on a east facing, and they are assholes. They are not the nicest plants to like care for, because if you disrupt them, they will be dramatic. Especially like fiddly figs, they fall into the ficus category and they will drop their leaves if you move them, if they're happy and you move them from this corner to this corner, if you disrupt the roots, the plant, and especially like some ficuses, you need to like shake them, which is like, I don't have time for that. So I think that they are drama queens. Then the last one they have is English ivy. So what they say is when you first start growing these vines, you should water them frequently. Once they're established, they can tolerate dry conditions. Even better, they do well in cooler temperatures. Good thing offices are notorious for being chilly. Offices. All right, they should have like renamed this to be like 15 lower maintenance common, all these very common plants that some people can grow in their office with no windows. All right, so first off, that's very misleading and confusing. When you first start growing these, you should water them frequently, and then once they're established, you can tolerate dry conditions. What does that mean? Do you stop watering? Do you let them dry out? When do you know when to stop that? It's kind of confusing. For me, I think that English ivy, I'm going to say, is a easier plant to care for. For me, no. But for most, similar to the spider plant, yes. For most people, it's easy to care for. But in this situation, in my situation, I don't think that they're easy to care for at all because I've killed them all. And as for light, I'm pretty sure they need a lot of light. A lot of plants need light. All plants need light, really. They say like if your plant can't see the sky, then they're not getting enough light, but whatever. All right, so that is the end of this article. Did you learn anything? Do you agree with what I said? I'm very, I don't know. So I think if you are a novice plant person and you read this article, it is half and half true, but also I think that you should discuss things with friends or plant friends if you have any questions, because a few things in this article is misleading. Always gotta get that thumbnail. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more plant content. And I'll see you guys next time. XOXO, bye!